Here's a full guide to update 1 in Roblox Dig, the Blood Moon update. We're going to start this video off by the main update, and then we're going to move on to the more smaller things, and then all the bug fixes and changes and buffs and nerfs. So starting off with the Blood Moon event, this is going to spawn every 6 hours. Now this started at 2 p.m. Eastern time, an hour after the update went live. So what that means is the next one's going to be at 8 p.m. and then going on, etc. So every 6 hours that event will happen. So essentially how it works is during this event, you're going to be given this buff where you have a 20% chance to get the clawed mutation. It's going to be this like dark red slashing effect particle going on. It's kind of not that visible. But the special thing about this event is it will also spawn in a direwolf boss, which is a 3-headed boss that's going to spawn in the cinder cave. It's going to be at the elevator shaft, so you don't have to go down the shaft, which is nice. And after you take it out, you have a chance to get any of these items here. So you have a 20% chance for the fanged shovel, which here are the stats for the fanged shovel. It's not the best, but it does give you a permanent chance at getting the clawed mutation. It's going to have a 25% chance at all times. So, but the overall stats on it are not that great, to be honest, but it is free, so you can't complain. At a 100% chance, you can get 1 to 3 dire scepters, which is just an item from the boss. So this is what it looks like. It's just like a staff that obviously you can sell or keep. And then you have a 15% chance to get the boss itself as an item that you can sell. And then you can get a sticker, which is just going to be these little emoticon things on the top right for other bosses. And then you get 4 to 7 blood moon chests and then money and XP like every other boss. So these blood moon chests are a little unique. Basically, they give you a chance to get any of the items in the new limited items tab. So you can see the blood moon event here, and any of the items in here you're able to get. Like you can see I actually got the crimson altar out of one of them. So these items work like the magnet crates and things like that. You just click and then you can open 8 or however many, and then you can get any of these items out of it. They can like upgrade. Also, you can earn these from buying them at the spawn. There's going to be a skeleton merchant that only appears during the blood moon while it's active, and you can just buy them. They're a little expensive and you definitely don't earn profit. I tested, so don't try. But if you want to fill up your journal, then that's the easy way to do it. You just simply go buy a couple crates and you'll fill up your journal pretty quickly. All right, now the next main part of the update is going to be the traveling merchant. They did a little bit of an overhaul to it, and by that I mean they just added new items and a new restock button. They added 8 new charms to this. I didn't get all of them, but here are a few of the ones that I found. So the mythical one's called the momentum bands, and what it does is every time you hit while digging, you get a plus 0.75 control every time you do that. So it could be good, but I'm not entirely sure. Another one I found is the heart monitor. So missing a hit will punish much less, and you can see some of the stats there you can get on it. There's also a strong lantern, which gives you more carry load, a spiky barrel, which gives you a thorns ability. So getting hit by a boss will attack them back with half of the attack damage. We have a vat of dye, which is kind of unique. You have a 45% chance to turn an item red, blue, or green. I don't know if there's a cell multiplier on it, but I guess it's kind of an interesting feature. Magnet on a stick, you have a 15% chance to dig up loot items. So you have a higher chance to get different things like magnet crates or enchantment books, stuff like that. There's also a boss apprentice legendary, which is just going to be giving you more boss damage. So that's pretty good. Like I said, there is 8 total, but I didn't get all of them, so I can't go over every single one. But the main new thing they added to the traveling merchant is going to be a new shovel. So this shovel is going to cost you 400,000. I found it relatively quickly. I actually got help from a viewer in my live stream. Make sure you're subscribed with notifications on, by the way, because I've been live streaming every day helping viewers with all kinds of private servers, farming XP, money, all that stuff. So subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss those. You can see it has the Beast Slayer shovel. So this is specifically for bosses, basically. The stats are not great, but the boss damage is super high, and it has an ability where it can actually spawn a laser and does a bonus half of the total boss damage when it spawns that in. Here's what the laser looks like, by the way. We tested it out, and it's, you know, it's okay. It's not nothing crazy, and you can honestly barely see the visual effect, but it's cool. And then yeah, they added a reroll button to the traveling merchant. So it's 45 Robux, and then you can reroll all 3 slots. Also, it's worth mentioning it does not reroll for everybody, in case you were curious. So if you buy it, it won't reroll for your friends, and vice versa. Next, they added a new item rarity, in case you didn't notice, prismatic rarity. So this is just going to be like the rainbow variant. It doesn't seem too hard to get. This guy actually got the ship in my live stream, so here's what that looks like. He found it at Cinder Shores. They also added a combat guild to the Copper Mesa area, so you don't have to go between island and island if you have to be farming quests over there. They added a bunch more items to the Alona jungle area, so there's also 2 prismatics here, which is the only place that has 2 prismatics, by the way. They added 5 new magnets to the magnet crates. Here are a couple of them that I got. So the crimson steel magnet, the magic magnet. They added 2 new vehicles, the first one being for level 0. You can get the golf cart for $1,000. And they also added a Lamborghini called the Tornado. You can get this at level 90. And then they did a lot of changes, nerfs and buffs. The biggest nerf of all being that they nerfed boss farms. So if you didn't know previously, the best XP and money method, I actually uploaded a video on my channel on this, was boss farming. So essentially how it worked, every time you spawn in the boss, you got guaranteed money and XP. So if every player was contributing, you would always get profit. And you could just spam these horns back to back to back. So you you were farming a bunch of XP and money. I actually did this a bunch on my live streams. And now the issue is what they did was they made a cooldown on it, and I tested it out. It's a 15-minute cooldown between each time you use the boss horn. So it's going to be very, very bad to farm this now. There's going to be a bunch of new ways that come out probably to get XP, so we'll probably have to keep a lookout for that. I'll most likely upload a short on it on my YouTube channel, so turn on notifications. They also like buffed and nerfed a bunch of the prices of things. I don't want to go through everything, so here's just an image of all these if you are interested in that. It's worth noting as well that there's this like puffer fish with a question mark emoji. I'm not entirely sure what that means. Yeah, overall a ton of fixes. Also a quick honorable mention on the Copper Mesa Island, there's also a new area called the Observatory where you climb this mountain and go up a bunch of different ladders, and at the end of it there's going to be an observatory where you can look through a telescope and look at the moon. I'm assuming this is just for looking at the blood moon. I didn't test it out. I didn't have enough time on the live stream, but if there's anything special about it, just let me know in the comments. And that is the full update 1 for this. They said they didn't have a bunch of time for it, but I feel like it's a pretty solid update 1 for only being 1 week to the game. You guys can let me know how you feel in the comments below. Go ahead and drop a like on this video if you liked it, and go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you're new with notifications on. Join the Discord. It's going to be the first link in the description. You can actually get notified 5 minutes before every blood moon starts. I'm going to set that up, so if you want to opt into that, you're able to, so that way you can get pinged and be in the game when the blood moon starts, so you can get the boss. Anyways, yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.